Lecture topic: Consistency in Goodness.
Bismillah. One Sahabi, Mut'im bin Adi radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So he once asked Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam that before Islam, before he came into Islam, he says there were many things that I used to do, and he was well known for those particular aspects, very, very charitable. He was a person who had freed many, many slaves, used to feed people abundantly, and was very much concerned about maintaining family relationships and seeing to his relatives. He was very famously known for this. So one is a person is doing it, but somebody is doing it on a very big level, very big scale, and now very prominent in it. So this was his condition. So now his question was that all these things were done prior to Islam, and what is known is that without Iman nothing is acceptable. So if the person doesn't have Iman, then all his actions are null and void. So there was so much of these good things which are universally accepted as good. Even Islam highlights all these actions very greatly. But obviously the foundation of Iman, that's a precondition for its acceptance in the akhirat. So now his question was, is this all gone in vain? Was there any benefit out of this? So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, Aslamta ala ma aslafta min khairin. Now there's various explanations of this, but one of the explanations of it is that the Tawfiq of Iman that you were blessed with, this came on the barakat of those actions that you did. So those actions that you were so prominent in, the good deeds that you were doing, you were feeding people, you were freeing the slaves, you were doing the various things that were helping your relatives, etc., that brought about the Tawfiq of Iman. So just as yesterday the discussion was about the person who, whatever he thought he was doing and he got involved in that strike, and normally these kind of things leads to a lot of disrespect. Unfortunately, when people get involved in these kind of things, they don't think what they're doing, and it leads to a lot of disrespect of anyone and everyone. And it's that disrespect that in reality becomes the means of a person's downfall. So in any case, that disrespect became such a great deprivation that for 40 years the person says he didn't perform one salah. Now likewise, the good actions a person does. Now this was even done before Islam, but yet it had an effect in the sense that it became a means of tawfiq coming from Allah Ta'ala's side, and this became the stepping stone for him to come into Iman. Now that became the greatest benefit of it, though there was no reward for it having been done before Iman, but that became the greatest benefit, that he would have done it with such a heart. That's also not just the action, but the intention that he was doing it with. So he didn't have any ulterior motive. He was doing it in his own way, sincerely. So that became a stepping stone. That became a means of his gaining the tawfiq of Iman itself. So now when a person does sometimes make some mujahidah regarding whatever his work is concerned, in fulfilling something, there's some mujahidah involved. In staying away from some wrongs, there's mujahidah involved. So now, when that mujahidah is made, Shaitan puts all kinds of thoughts. Why are you wasting your time? How long are you going on with this? What difference it brought? But that difference is not necessary, it's going to be seen in one moment, in one day. But that has its barakat. The barakat will come sometimes years later, in many different ways. The tawfiq that it will bring, the goodness that it will bring in dunya, and dunya is just a very temporary place, what it will bring in the akhirat. So a person should never ever get derailed or become deceived by these waswasas of Shaitan. He should continue doing what he's required to do. What mujahidah is required, he should nudge himself forward with that. And its barakat will come in time. That it doesn't go in vain at all. The akhirat is where its barakat really will come. But even in dunya, Allah Ta'ala then guides the person. That becomes a means of the tawfiq of doing more good. That becomes a means of tawfiq, of the tawfiq coming of making tawbah from things that he was struggling with. And the himmat and the courage which he thought he never could ever muster up to give up certain things, that becomes a very easy thing for him. The tawfiq that came is on the basis of that good that he was doing sincerely for Allah Ta'ala. So that good it'll bring its good. It'll bring further good. But what's required is perseverance and consistency. Person did it one day and after 2 days he left it. The consistency is what brings the barakat in it. Allah Ta'ala give us that.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।